Just got my books back from my first Cbcs submission. Let's check them out. Hey, welcome to Nerds Being Geeks. This is Alex. Like I said, I just sent some books off to Cbcs. They just came back, so let's go through them. So I submitted these books through a local contact I've talked about before, Cody Lockwood. Lockwood Loots. He does his claim sales every Friday for CodyCon, and he also works for Cbcs/Beckett, so I could send my books off to him locally. Just drop them off to him, fill out the paperwork, give him a receipt. He sends them off, and there we go. Didn't have to worry about filling out all that paperwork correctly, incorrectly. Just kind of took that out of my hands, let him take care of it, and it worked out great. The turnaround time for these books was just over 3 months. And because of how the market is right now, CGC and Cbcs are just backlogged. They are overwhelmed with books, and it's taking longer and longer for them to get through the grading process and shipped out. I think Rad Raptor was telling me that they had books they sent out in August, and they didn't get them until like January. So, and that was through CGC. And I sent off CGC books a month before this Cbcs send off, and I still haven't gotten it yet. So it's been 4 months for CGC. All right, guys, so let's get into the Cbcs haul. All right, so my first book it's a classic, Journey into Mystery 112. I don't know, the glare on there probably. This book is beat pretty bad. I got it for a steal, raw, and it's a 2.0 Origin of Loki, classic Thor versus Hulk cover in battle. Some people probably said, you know, a 2.0, it's not worth it, but like I said before, I'm not 9.8 chasing. If I get it, I'm happy. If I don't, it is what it is. But I look at some of these lower grade books and getting them submitted, graded, protected as just preserving history. And I just feel like I'm protecting the book better and got a case of the low grade love. All right, so the next book, this is going on my Galactus shelf. I'll probably show that off one day on like a comic book room tour video, but this is going up there. This is Thor 168. It is a 3.5 Galactus cover and appearance. Origin of Galactus begins in a Watcher appearance. Just another great Kirby classic cover. It looks like it has that subscription crease that goes all the way through, breaks color, but once again, got it for a great price. Just low grade love. All right, so next up is Strange Tales, number 146. So this is Eternity versus Dormammu, but what's really important for me is that this book is Steve Ditko's last work on Doctor Strange. I actually got a Steve Ditko signature. I'm sure I'll show that off one day too. All right, so I wanted to point out in this submission to CBCS, what I got back was the highest grade now in my collection of graded books. And before this, I probably had around 9, maybe 8, 9, 10, somewhere around there. So in this submission, I got my highest graded and also my lowest graded book. So stick around and find out which ones those are. All right, so next up, we got a book that is incredibly hot right now. Basically anything to do with these guys is just skyrocketing. It's TMNT Adventures #1. Take it out of the bag. 9.6. This is officially my highest graded book. So this came back in 9.6. What's so important about this book? First appearance of Bebop and Rocksteady in comics. Shredder and Krang appearance. Origin of TMNT retold. And it's based on the animated series. I also thought this book was the first appearance of Krang in comic book form, but according to CBCS, it is not. My brother-in-law actually surprised me with this book raw, and he got it on eBay for 15 bucks. It is definitely more than that now. I did have this book pressed and cleaned by Ultimate Comics for You. Dan does great work. I do it through Rad Raptor. They facilitate it, and it's pretty awesome. He does a great job. All right, so my last book from my CBCS submission. It's a classic. Fantastic Four 49. This book is in a 1.8. It is officially my lowest graded book. I don't see too many 1.8s. So let's see. First cover and second appearance of Silver Surfer. First cover and full appearance of Galactus. First appearance of Galactus's Punisher. And the note, I love this note. Cover and centerfold reattached with moderate amount of tape. Moderate amount. Yeah, this spine is almost non-existent. Boy, oh boy, I got this on eBay maybe 2 years ago. And I got it for about 80 bucks back then. So yeah, it is. It's pretty beat. But God, I love it. This book's also going to go on my Galactus shelf. So pretty excited about that. All right, so let's talk about why I picked CBCS for these submissions and not CGC, because CGC is basically the standard for graded books. They were the first to do it. They are worth more if you get a CGC over a CBCS, even if they're in the same grade, same book, same grade, CGC will always sell a little bit more. So why did I go CBCS? Well, it was kind of an experiment. Like I said before, I have one book at CGC right now, and I sent Cody Lockwood this stuff just to try CBCS. I really wanted to check out what they were about. I wasn't a big fan of theirs, but I never had any of their books before. I never had any of my books graded by them before, I should say. But there was a few things that came out recently that really drew me to them. And then having someone to facilitate that transaction to CBCS. I really wanted to pick CBCS because of some of these new changes that they've implemented. And it really drew me to them. Those new cases are great. They are thick, they're sturdy. What I really like about them is that they don't have the archival paper in them, so they you don't need to change out that paper, so you don't need to recase them. What that means is that once they're in their cases, as long as the cases don't break, crack, chip, or whatever, you'll never have to replace them if you don't want to. If you leave books in CGC for too long with that archival paper, it stops working. So CBCS made these new cases breathable, and they look great. Another reason is that they're cheaper than CGC. Yeah, it might be by a few dollars, but it really adds up when you're starting to send in several books. Free grader notes. You do not have to pay that fee to get grader notes. You can find out every single thing wrong with your book for free. That's a lot. I think CGC is like $10 per book. So even though you already paid for their service to encapsulate your book, you still got to pay more to get the notes. So to give those notes for free was pretty big. This goes along with the notes, but they put this QR code on the back of the book. And what makes this so cool is that if you're at a convention and you got these new CBCS cases, you see a book you like, you can go up there and scan that QR code and it will take you to the grader's notes so you can see everything wrong with the book before you buy it. And that just goes right with the free grader's notes. You can check that at any time, anywhere, for free. And I think the last thing for me, some people will question it, and I completely understand that, is that now CBCS has gotten rid of the red label for the unverified signatures and replaced it with a yellow label where they will verify the signature if it wasn't witnessed. So CGC will only verify a signature if it's witnessed. I believe if you do not get it witnessed by CGC when the person signs the book, then I believe you get a green label. So with that signature series, CBCS will get the book and just verify the signature and put verified signature and the name on the label, and you'll get that bright yellow label. And what's cool about this is for people that had books, signed back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, before grading was a thing, before the yellow label, before all of that, like some people probably have like amazing signatures like inside their books, like Jack Kirby. Well, you can get that verified now and get it encapsulated. Like, hey, this is a Jack Kirby signature. I have a few Stan Lee books that I had signed when I was living in Texas, and I didn't get them, I didn't have them witnessed by CGC. I have them raw, I have them in Mylar. Would I want to encase them and have them graded? Yeah, and I think I will use CBCS for that. I also have some Claremont signatures I'd want to do that for too. All right, so here's the big question. Will I send more off to CBCS to get graded? Yes, I will. These new cases are great. They look awesome. They're stackable. They lock into each other. You don't have to worry about them falling away. They sit right on top of each other perfectly and lock in a little bit. It's great. I love the fact that I don't need to replace them. I don't need to pay for graders notes. It's all around better in my opinion. And since I don't plan on selling any of my books, I don't need to worry about getting less for them when I try and flip them, because I'm not flipping them. Hey, thanks for sticking around to the end. I'm going to put links in the description for Cody Lockwood, Lockwood Loots. So you can check out his Cody Cons every Friday, his claim sales on Facebook Live. I'm going to put a link to Ultimate Comics for you. Dan pressing those books, making them look great. He gets books from all over the world, and he does before and after pictures, which is amazing. Just blows my mind how great they look after. I'm going to put in the description Rad Raptor, my local LCS. And check out Heads Up Studios. They did the logo for Nerds Being Geeks. Go give their Facebook a like. And make sure you like, subscribe, and share Nerds Being Geeks. Thanks for watching.